The Heartland Summit was in full swing under the warm July sky of Tulsa, Oklahoma, in 2025, a balmy 90-degree evening that carried the scent of barbecue and the hum of anticipation. Held at the historic Cain's Ballroom, a 20,000-square-foot venue etched into the lore of Route 66, the event was a celebration of community resilience, raising funds for mental health programs in small-town America. Neon signs glowed outside, casting a nostalgic red and blue haze over the 50-foot mural of a vintage pickup truck, a nod to Tulsa's storied highway heritage. Inside, a country band strummed a lively rendition of Sweet Home Oklahoma, their twang mingling with the chatter of a diverse crowd. 500 strong. From local ranchers in worn boots to LA influencers in tailored suits, all gathered under a 15-foot stage bathed in soft LED lights. The summit was more than a charity gala. It was a live-streamed spectacle, beamed to 100 million viewers on platforms like YouTube and X, a showcase of unity in a nation wrestling with its identity. In 2025, America stood at a crossroads. Social media amplified every voice, from the hopeful to the hateful, fueling debates over free speech, personal expression, and authenticity. Hashtags like Speak Your Truth and cancel culture clashed daily on X, reflecting a country hungry for connection, yet divided by how to define it. The Heartland Summit, with its promise of healing through community, aimed to bridge that gap, projecting a polished image of togetherness. But behind the scenes, organizers obsessed over control, wary of any spark that might ignite controversy in a polarized climate. The stage was set for harmony, or so they thought. Beneath the surface, a quiet rebellion was brewing, one that would redefine the night and ripple far beyond Tulsa's city limits. Keanu Reeves stepped out of a black pickup truck, alone, as was his way. No entourage, no assistant, just him, dressed in a black denim jacket, faded jeans, and scuffed boots that had seen more miles than most. Around his neck hung a simple silver pendant, a small, unassuming piece that caught the light as he moved a gift from his late partner, a token of love and resilience that anchored him through years of loss. The pendant rested against his chest, not hidden, not flaunted, but undeniably there, a quiet testament to a life shaped by grief and hope. As he crossed the 50-yard red carpet, cameras flashed and whispers followed. "Is that Keanu?" a young fan in a Stetson hat murmured, pointing at the pendant. "What's with the necklace?" an influencer in a sequined dress posted to her ex-followers, her phone already buzzing with replies. Inside the Cain's Ballroom, the air was thick with the scent of smoked brisket and the buzz of anticipation. The crowd milled about, sipping iced tea and craft beer, their laughter mingling with the band's final warm-up chords. Backstage, the energy was different, tense, calculated, a machine of clipboard-wielding staff and headset-wearing producers, orchestrating the night's every beat. Lena Carter, the summit's charismatic host, glided through the chaos, her million-watt smile as much a performance as her stand-up routines. A comedian turned media darling, Lena had a knack for turning tough topics into viral quips, her quick wit a shield against anything too real. Beside her was Marcus Tate, the summit's PR director, a man whose polished suit and nervous energy betrayed his obsession with keeping the event controversy-free. They were the gatekeepers of the night's narrative, determined to keep it light, safe, and universally appealing. Keanu moved through the backstage hallway, his steps soft but deliberate, offering nods and small smiles to the crew, sound techs adjusting mics, camera operators checking angles, a janitor sweeping up spilled popcorn. His calm was a stark contrast to the frenetic energy around him, a stillness that seemed to unsettle those used to Hollywood's flash. As he reached a small, cedar-paneled room, Marcus stepped forward, his clipboard clutched like a lifeline. "Mr. Reeves," he said, voice overly polite. "Can we have a quick word?" Privately, Keanu paused, his dark eyes meeting Marcus's, and nodded. The door clicked shut behind them, sealing them in a space that smelled of coffee and ambition, the hum of the air conditioner barely masking the tension. "It's nothing major," Marcus began, his smile strained, sweat beading on his brow despite the 70-degree room. "Just a request from the team." He gestured vaguely toward the ceiling, as if the team hovered above like a corporate deity. "It's about the pendant." Keanu's hand instinctively brushed the silver piece, his fingers lingering as Marcus pressed on. "It's a visual thing. With 100 million viewers, we're aiming for a neutral tone. You know, no divisive personal symbols. Could you maybe tuck it under your shirt for the panel?" His voice faltered, the words landing awkwardly in the silence. Lena, leaning against the doorframe, chimed in, her tone light but pointed. "Yeah, Keanu, let's keep the sparkle for the stage. Not your necklace. We don't want to lose the TikTok crowd over a retro vibe." Her laugh was practiced, but her eyes darted to the pendant, betraying a flicker of unease. Keanu looked at her, then back at Marcus, his expression unreadable. He touched the pendant again, as if grounding himself in its weight. "It's not a symbol," he said softly, his voice steady but firm. "It's my truth." The words hung in the air, simple yet immovable, like a stone dropped in still water. Marcus forced a chuckle, wiping his brow. "Of course, it's not personal. Just a small tweak for the stream." Keanu's gaze didn't waver. That all he asked, calm as ever. Marcus nodded, relieved, expecting compliance. Keanu gave a single nod and walked out, the pendant still visible, glinting under the fluorescent lights. The moment lingered, an unspoken challenge rippling through the backstage crew. Sarah Whitefeather, a Native American journalist tucked in a corner, typed furiously on her phone. Sensing a story, James Holt, a black veteran security guard, watched silently, his own dog tags hidden beneath his uniform, stirred by Keanu's quiet resolve. Riley Chen, a Gen Z influencer, smirked, posting, "Keanu's necklace drama. So last decade." Yet the air had shifted, heavy with the weight of something real. The stage loomed ahead, its 15-foot platform ready to broadcast every word, every gesture, to millions. Outside, the Tulsa crowd buzzed, unaware of the tension brewing behind the scenes. The neon Route 66 signs glowed brighter, and the country band struck up a new tune. But Keanu's steps toward the stage carried a purpose that no script could contain. In a nation wrestling with what it meant to be seen, one man's truth was about to spark a reckoning. The backstage of Kane's ballroom thrummed with controlled chaos, a 30-foot hallway buzzing with the clatter of headsets, the rustle of scripts, and the faint aroma of Oklahoma barbecue wafting from the catering table. The July heat, still a sticky 90 degrees Fahrenheit despite the evening hour, clung to the cedar-scented air of a small backstage room where Marcus Tate, the Heartland Summit's PR director, cornered Keanu Reeves. Marcus's crisp suit was at odds with his nervous fidgeting, his clipboard gripped like a shield as he faced Keanu, who stood calm in his black denim jacket, the silver pendant necklace glinting softly against his chest. "Mr. Reeves," Marcus said, his voice tight with forced calm. "We're live to 100 million viewers tonight. The team's just asking for a small tweak. Tuck the pendant away. Keep it neutral. It's about the message. You know." His eyes darted to the pendant, a simple piece that seemed to carry a weight he couldn't fathom. Lena Carter leaned against the doorframe, her comedian's charm masking a calculated edge. "Yeah, Keanu. Let's keep the vibe upbeat. Save the sparkle for the spotlight," she quipped, her smile as bright as the neon Route 66 signs outside. Her words were light, but they carried a sting, a nudge to conform for the sake of the summit's polished image. Keanu's dark eyes met hers, then Marcus's, his fingers brushing the pendant, a gift from his late partner, a quiet anchor of love and resilience. "I'm here to honor, not to hide," he said softly, his voice steady, slicing through the room's tension like a cool breeze on a 90-degree night. The words landed with a quiet force, leaving Marcus blinking and Lena's smile faltering for a split second. In the hallway, the exchange didn't go unnoticed. Sarah Whitefeather, a young Native American journalist with the Tulsa World, lingered nearby, her phone glowing as she typed notes, her sharp eyes catching every nuance. She sensed a story brewing, one that went beyond celebrity gossip to the heart of authenticity in a divided America. James Holt, a black veteran working security, stood watch near a 10-foot banner of the summit's logo, his own dog tags tucked beneath his uniform. Keanu's calm defiance stirred something in him, a memory of hiding his own truth to fit in. Meanwhile, Riley Chen, a Gen Z influencer with 1 million X-followers, smirked as she filmed a quick selfie against a Route 66 mural. "Keanu's old-school vibe is giving drama," she captioned, her skepticism masking a flicker of curiosity about the man who seemed unfazed by the spotlight. The venue pulsed with life. The 1,500-strong crowd filling the 20,000-square-foot ballroom with laughter and chatter. Ranchers in cowboy hats swapped stories of Tulsa's music scene, while urbanites and celebrities sipped craft beer, their conversations weaving Route 66 lore with dreams of community healing. The country band's warm-up chords echoed, a twangy rendition of Tulsa Time blending with the smoky scent of barbecue ribs from a local joint. Outside, the neon signs cast a warm glow over the 50-foot mural, a snapshot of America's heartland pride. Yet, backstage, the air was heavier, charged with the unspoken pressure to conform. Marcus's plea and Lena's quip weren't just requests. They were a collective push to sand down anything too real, too raw, for a nation watching through screens. Keanu moved toward the stage, his boots soft on the hardwood floor, the pendant still visible, a quiet rebellion against the summit's sanitized script. The crew watched, some whispering, others averting their eyes. Sarah's fingers flew across her phone. James shifted his stance, and Riley's smirk faded as she hit post. The 15-foot stage loomed, its lights ready to expose every truth or bury it. In a country wrestling with what it meant to be seen, Keanu's stand was about to ignite something far bigger than the night itself. The Cain's ballroom stage glowed under a canopy of LED lights, its 15-foot platform a beacon for the 1-hour 200-strong crowd packed into the historic Tulsa venue. The Heartland Summit's live stream beamed to 100 million viewers, the air thick with the twang of a country band fading out and the lingering scent of Oklahoma barbecue. On stage, Lena Carter, mic in hand, commanded the panel on resilience with her signature charm, her tailored blazer catching the light as she paced the 20-foot stage. Beside her, Keanu Reeves sat, his black denim jacket unbuttoned, the silver pendant a gift from his late partner resting openly against his chest. The crowd, a mix of ranchers, urbanites, and influencers, leaned forward, their chatter about Route 66 lore replaced by anticipation. Lena, sensing the moment, turned to Keanu with a playful grin. "So, Keanu," she said, her voice amplified across the 20,000-square-foot venue. "That pendant, is it a retro fashion statement or a midlife crisis charm?" Laughter rippled through the audience, a few cowboy hats bobbing with amusement. Keanu's calm gaze held steady, unfazed by the spotlight or the 100 million eyes watching online. He touched the pendant, his fingers tracing its familiar shape, and leaned into the mic. "This was hers," he said, his voice quiet but resonant, cutting through the laughter like a cool breeze on a 90-degree Tulsa night. My partner. She told me to never hide who I am, even when it's hard. I'm here because of her. The words landed with raw weight, a vivid memory of love and loss that silenced the crowd. The ballroom, buzzing moments ago, grew still. The neon Route 66 signs outside seeming to glow brighter in the hush. Lena's smile flickered, her quick wit caught off guard by the depth of Keanu's response. Sensing the mood shift, Lena pivoted, her comedian's instinct kicking in. Wow, Keanu, going all sentimental on us, she quipped, leaning toward the audience with a wink. Is this Hollywood heartstring stuff a publicity move or what? The crowd chuckled, but it was thinner, uncertain, the air heavy with something unspoken. Keanu paused, his dark eyes locking onto Lena's, then sweeping across the audience. He stood slowly, unclipping his mic with deliberate calm. I didn't come here to fit your script, he said, his voice steady, unwavering. I came to be real. The pendant glinted under the stage lights as he turned, walking off the 15-foot platform, each step echoing in the stunned silence. The live stream captured every second, broadcasting his quiet rebellion to millions. The crowd of 200 gasped, a wave of shock rolling through the ballroom. Some clapped instinctively. Others whispered, their phones already lighting up with recordings. Sarah Whitefeather, the Native American journalist, live tweeted from the front row. Keanu Reeves just walked off the Heartland summit. I came to be real. Be real, Heartland. James Holt, the black veteran security guard, stood near the stage, nodding in quiet respect, his hidden dog tags feeling heavier against his chest. Riley Chen, the Gen Z influencer, posted a stunned Instagram story, her usual smirk replaced by wide-eyed awe. Did Keanu just... Wow. Backstage, Marcus Tate, the PR director, panicked, spilling coffee across a 10-page script as he barked into his headset. Cut to the band. Now Lena froze on stage, her charm faltering, her million-watt smile dimming as the weight of Keanu's words settled over the room. The moment was electric, a spark in a nation hungry for truth. The pendant, a symbol of Keanu's resilience, had become a beacon, its glint under the Tulsa lights igniting a conversation that would echo far beyond the heartland. The stage stood empty, but the story was just beginning. The air in Kane's ballroom still crackled with the echo of Keanu Reeves' walk-off, the 15-foot stage now empty under the glow of LED lights. But the real explosion was unfolding online. Sarah Whitefeather, the Native American journalist, had captured the moment on her phone. Her tweet a grainy clip of Keanu unclipping his mic, the silver pendant glinting, and his words, I came to be real, rocketing across X. Within minutes, it amassed 5 million views, sparking the hashtag #BeRealHeartland. The 200-person crowd in Tulsa's 20,000-square-foot venue, still reeling from the stunned silence, began buzzing again, their phones lighting up the darkened ballroom like fireflies. A Texas teacher in Austin posted a photo of her grandmother's locket. Worn openly for the first time in years, Keanu's stand reminded me to carry her with me. Be Real Heartland, in Seattle. An artist shared a pencil sketch of the pendant, captioned, Truth doesn't need a spotlight. A Chicago nurse tweeted, I hid my faith to fit in at work. No more. Thank you, Keanu. The hashtag trended nationwide, a digital wildfire spreading from Tulsa's Route 66 heart to every corner of America. The spark grew into a blaze when an anonymous source leaked Marcus Tate's emails to a local Oklahoma City blogger. The messages, screenshotted and shared on Reddit, revealed the PR director's orders. Steer clear of personal symbols. Keep Keanu light. No heavy stuff for the 100 million viewers. Another email, marked urgent, instructed, if he pushes the pendant, pivot to career talk. We're not a therapy session. The leaks hit X like a thunderclap, fueling outrage. Truth doesn't hide overtook trends within hours, with users from New York to Nevada decrying the attempt to sanitize Keanu's authenticity. A Gen Z activist in Oklahoma City, standing outside a 50-foot Route 66 mural, posted a viral TikTok. Keanu didn't just walk off. He stood for all of us who've been told to hide who we are. Truth doesn't hide. The video racked up 10 million views, her words resonating with a nation weary of polished facades in a polarized 2025. Backstage, Marcus paced a 10-foot hallway, his coffee-stained script forgotten as he barked into his headset. How did this leak find the source? The 90-degree Tulsa heat seemed to press harder, the scent of barbecue now sour in the tense air. Lena Carter, the summit's charismatic host, felt the ground shift beneath her. Her million-watt smile, so effective on the 15-foot stage, couldn't shield her from the backlash flooding her X notifications. Late that night, in a quiet Tulsa hotel room, Lena recorded a raw X video, her makeup gone, her voice trembling. I pushed Keanu to conform because I was afraid of real, she admitted, her usual quips replaced by vulnerability. I thought humor could keep things safe, but I was wrong. His truth deserves space. She paused, eyes glistening. I'm hosting a forum on authenticity back at Kane's. Keanu, if you're watching, please come back. The video, shared 8 million times, marked a turning point, her sincerity cutting through the digital noise. The ripple effect was undeniable. James Holt, the black veteran security guard, touched his hidden dog tags, inspired to wear them openly for the first time since his discharge. Sarah Whitefeather drafted a Tulsa World column, weaving Keanu's stand into America's broader struggle for authenticity. Riley Chen, the skeptical influencer, posted a reflective Instagram story. Thought Keanu was just old school. Now I get it. Be real. No filter. The Heartland Summit, meant to project unity, had instead ignited a movement, one that echoed beyond Tulsa's neon-lit Route 66. Keanu's pendant, a simple token of love and resilience, had become a symbol of something larger, a refusal to shrink in a world demanding conformity. As the nation watched, the stage was set for a reckoning, not just for Keanu, but for everyone carrying a truth they'd been told to hide. Weeks after Keanu Reeves's walk-off, the Cain's Ballroom in Tulsa, Oklahoma, stood ready for a different kind of gathering. On a warm May evening in 2025 with the 80-degree heat, carrying the faint scent of barbecue from nearby Route 66 joints, Lena Carter's Forum on Authenticity filled the 20,000-square-foot venue with a 1,000-strong audience. The 15-foot stage, once a platform for polished performances, now held a single wooden table and 2 chairs, lit softly by overhead LEDs. The neon Route 66 signs outside casting a gentle glow. The crowd, local ranchers, Tulsa musicians, and viewers streaming live nationwide, was hushed. Their anticipation a far cry from the Heartland Summit's earlier fanfare. Keanu stepped through the backstage hallway, his black denim jacket and worn boots unchanged. The silver pendant, his late partner's gift, resting openly against his chest. As he emerged, warm applause rose, not wild, but human. A collective exhale from a nation stirred by his stand. Lena Carter, stripped of her usual comedic sheen, stood center stage, her voice steady but softer. No jokes tonight, she said, her eyes meeting the crowd's. Just truth. The humility was new, earned through weeks of backlash and soul-searching after pushing Keanu to conform. She gestured to Keanu, who sat beside her, his calm presence filling the 100-square-foot space more powerfully than any spotlight could. The audience leaned in, From Tulsa, locals in cowboy hats to online viewers on X, where Be Real Heartland still trended. Keanu leaned into the microphone, his fingers brushing the pendant. "We all carry something," he began, his voice quiet yet resonant. "Love, loss, hope, doubt. It doesn't need permission to exist. It just needs space to breathe." He paused, touching the pendant again, its glint catching the light. "This is my space to heal. Yours might be a ring, a tattoo, a memory. That's okay." The words, simple and universal, landed like a shared breath, bridging the 1,000 souls in the room and millions watching across America. The forum sparked a movement, its ripple effect immediate and profound. James Holt, the black veteran security guard, stood at the back, his dog tags now worn openly over his uniform, their weight a quiet tribute to his service and survival. Sarah Whitefeather, the Native American journalist, sat in the front row, her Tulsa World feature on authenticity already drafted, weaving Keanu's stand into a broader call for truth in a polarized 2025. Riley Chen, the Gen Z influencer, recorded a video from the audience, her usual irony replaced by sincerity, as she spoke of embracing her Chinese heritage. "Keanu showed me it's okay to be real." Be Real Heartland, across the U.S. The hashtag became a canvas for stories lockets in Texas, tattoos in Oregon, letters in Florida, each a testament to reclaimed truths. A Chicago barista posted about her pride flag pin. A New Orleans chef shared his grandfather's watch, their voices joining a chorus that echoed from Route 66's neon-lit heart to every corner of the nation. The ballroom, once charged with the summit's scripted unity, now hummed with something raw, a collective empowerment that transcended the 50-foot Route 66 mural. Outside, Lena, no longer the controlling host, listened as audience members shared their own stories, her eyes glistening with a newfound respect for vulnerability. Keanu's message, universal yet deeply personal, had dismantled the need for permission, inviting everyone to claim their space. The forum wasn't a spectacle but a beginning, a movement rooted in American values of authenticity and community action. As the night closed, the crowd didn't cheer, they stood, their silence a reverence for truths no longer hidden, their stories weaving a tapestry stronger than any stage could hold. Keanu, ever the quiet anchor, nodded, the pendant a steady reminder of love's enduring light in a world learning to breathe free. The Heartland Summit had come and gone, its 15-foot stage in Tulsa's Cain's Ballroom now a memory. But the ripples of Keanu Reeves's stand on that warm July evening in 2025 stretched far beyond the 20,000-square-foot venue. By May 27, 2025, no formal movement had taken shape, no foundations. No manifestos, but Be Real Heartland had woven itself into the fabric of America. A cultural touchstone whispered in coffee shops from Tulsa to Topeka, debated in high school classrooms in Chicago, and shared in X threads from coast to coast. It wasn't about one symbol, not just Keanu's silver pendant, a gift from his late partner that anchored his resilience. It was about the right to be seen, whether through a pendant, a hijab, a pride pin, or a memory tucked close to the heart. In a nation wrestling with identity in 2025 where social media amplified both division and hope, the hashtag became a quiet revolution, a call to live unapologetically. A Tulsa mural artist, inspired by the summit's echo, painted a 50-foot mural along Route 66, Keanu's pendant, rendered in silver against a neon sunset. Captioned in bold, "Truth lives here." The mural, glowing under 80-degree night skies, drew visitors from across Oklahoma, a testament to a truth that refused to fade. Keanu himself remained a silent force, embodying the American resilience that had stirred millions. He offered no interviews, no ex-posts beyond a single, Wordless image shared weeks after the forum. The pendant resting on a weathered wooden table, beside a lit candle, its flame steady in the dim light. The photo, unfiltered and raw, was shared 12 million times in 24 hours. A beacon of authenticity in a world cluttered with noise. Keanu's silence wasn't retreat, it was presence. A choice to let the movement speak for itself. His pendant, once a private anchor, had become a universal symbol, not of one belief but of the courage to carry personal truth without permission. From Seattle to Miami, people saw in that candle's glow a spark of hope, a reminder that even in loss, Keanu's partner, a daughter, a friend there, was light to be found. This quiet act taught America a lesson. Authenticity doesn't need a spotlight to shine. It thrives in stillness, in the spaces where truth breathes free. The lessons ran deeper, etched into the stories that always be real, Heartland inspired. First, the movement showed that authenticity is a universal right, not a privilege to be gatekept by scripts or stages. Keanu's stand revealed how often society, whether through media, institutions, or social pressure, demands conformity, urging us to hide our pendants, our dog tags, our truths to fit a neutral mold. Yet, his refusal taught that truth. When honored, bridges divides, uniting ranchers in Tulsa with influencers in LA. Second, it underscored the power of community action. The forum, sparked by Lena Carter's redemption, wasn't led by one voice but by many James Holt's dog tags. Sarah Whitefeather's feature, Riley Chen's embrace of her heritage, each a thread in a tapestry of collective empowerment. Finally, it reminded America that hope lies in vulnerability. Keanu's pendant, Lena's raw confession, and the stories of lockets and tattoos showed that healing begins when we dare to be seen. A lesson that resonated in a polarized 2025, where connection felt fragile. In the final scene, Lena Carter stood in Kane's ballroom, no longer the summit's polished host, but a facilitator of open mic nights. Her million-watt smile softened by humility. The 80-degree Tulsa air carried the scent of hope, mingling with barbecue from a nearby Route 66 diner, as neon signs bathed the 50-foot mural in a warm glow. A young Oklahoman, barely 20, took the mic, her voice trembling as she shared a story of reclaiming her native identity. A beaded necklace, her grandmother's legacy, now worn proudly. Lena listened, her eyes glistening. The 1,000-person crowd, locals, visitors, and online viewers holding space for her truth. The neon lights seemed to burn brighter, a beacon for a movement that had no end, only beginnings. Across the U.S., from a Texas barista's pride pin to a New Orleans chef's heirloom watch. Be Real Heartland lived on, a testament to the right to be real. To you, the audience of this story, thank you for joining this journey through Tulsa's Heartland, for standing with Keanu, Lena, Sarah, James, and Riley as they carved space for truth. Your presence, whether in coffee shops, classrooms, or X threads, fuels this movement. If this story moved you, share your own truth with Be Real Heartland, and join our channel of authenticity by carrying your pendant, your memory, your light. Subscribe to this spirit of resilience, not with a click, but with courage. And let's keep the candle lit. What's your truth? Tell us below, and let it shine.